Hi guys, welcome back again. It's been a little while since I last did a video. Just one thing or another catches up with you, and I've been a little bit busy. But I'm back now, that's nice. So this time, it's only a small one, but I thought it's one I'd like to share with you, and that is the vegan, dairy-free cupcakes and buttercream. So I've never done this before. I've got a recipe that I've kind of adjusted to make it sort of vanilla flavour sponge. I'm going to inject it with some chocolate paste that is totally dairy free, and also the buttercream I'm going to use with a margarine that I've got that is again dairy free but with a buttery flavour. So hopefully it will all come out nice. I'm going to also flavour the buttercream with a bit of orange oil, and there'll be lots of vanilla within the sponge as well. So hopefully it will all work out. So yeah, again, if you like what you see, please like, subscribe, share, and also, you know, I'll have my Instagram on the description, plus my website, which is www.thepastrychefcornwall.co.uk, and on there you will find all the recipes that I do anyway, with the tutorials and other bits and pieces. So hopefully I'll be able to do something special with these cakes, as there will be for my son's birthday anyway on Monday, so I've got to make sure they're right. So I'll go through what we'll need. Equipment wise, you'll need, obviously, I've got muffin moulds, which they are chocolate colour. I've also got a whisk. May not need a whisk because I've obviously got my mixer here, but this can be done quite easily with a whisk and a bowl. It comes together quite nice, but I like to make it super smooth and tasty. Right, so you need 300 grams of self-raising flour. You'll need 130 grams of castor. You'll need well, I've got 10. It says 13 grams, but because I've altered the recipe with self-raising flour, I'm going to reduce the amount of bicarb I've got. So it's 10 grams of bicarb. Still 4 grams of salt. Cider vinegar, which is this one, and that's 7 grams. And then you've got what's that? Veg oil, which I've got 65 grams of. And your moisture is obviously coming from your water, which is 150 grams of water right there. And then to flavour, I've got some vanilla bean paste. There's a bit in there, but I'm going to put all of that in with a little bit of extra extract that I've got, so it's super vanilla-y. So it hides a lot of the other flavours in there. Because we're using a cider vinegar and bicarb, you can have we won't notice it that much, but you will have a little taste in there. And then later on, I'm going to go into making the buttercream. But I haven't done the buttercream before, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the recipe as I go along, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Obviously, it's going to be dairy free, but yeah, but we've got products to counter that, haven't we? Okay, so right, I'm going to preheat my oven first before we start to 180. That is going. Please bear with me while I do that, which is just like that. And then we're going to get onto the mix. So my oven's heating up nicely. Right, so the flour goes in, obviously sieved. Always sieve your flour, please. It's always good practice. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is my bicarb in, my salt in, and then I'm going to put my sugar in. Don't forget the sugar. There goes the sugar. Right, so what I've got left is obviously the water. I've got my vanilla extract, and I've got my oil. So, and my vinegar. So what I tend to do, because as soon as you add, obviously adding vinegar to it, it's going to make the bicarb react pretty soon. So I tend to leave that till the end, you know, when I'm going to need it. So what we're going to do is going to put the water in, then the oil, then the extract, and then finally, just before we go and put them into our baking cases, then I'll add the vinegar. Right, so this is obviously a recipe that I've got from Hannah, and I've adjusted it because that's a chocolate recipe I've got. So I've taken the cocoa powder out and I've upped the flour and so forth. But I will explain that when I upload the recipe. That's great. Okay, so right, let's put this man down. Make sure he's switched on because I have a habit of doing that. Yep. And then the water's going to go in first. So in goes the water, and then we start to mix. And what we do want to do is just make a paste first, and then we're going to add our oil. And this is what will give you a lot of moisture into the cake, because you know, without the addition of eggs, this is our fat element, and no butter, obviously. Okay. So give that a little mix. I like to work it a little bit. Right, so I'm now going to put in my vanilla. That goes in. Stop it for a minute while I put that in. So you will get a good rise out of these, because obviously you've got your baking powder that's in your self-raising flour and your bicarb. And then your activation is your vinegar. Okay. Let's get the rest of that in as well, because it's wasting only a little bit. That'll give it a nice taste. Recycle. That's very important that we always recycle. Okay, so that's your oil in. That's your every other bit in. I'm going to give it another little mix. And you might not see from there, but it's actually starting to work already. So I will get that, and then I'll get a piping bag ready, and we shall make sure it's nice and smooth. And then goes the vinegar. So that's your activation right there. Just going to keep moving it while I get the piping bag ready. No need for a nozzle. Okay, that looks nice and smooth. And again, we'll scrape down, just mix the rest in as we go. So piping bag. Okay, see, it's a nice smooth batter there. It's beautiful, and it smells wicked. Okay, so my mix is in my bag nicely, and I'm just going to fill each one about 1/3 of the way high. Okay, because obviously we're going to start baking, but you don't want it to leak over the top. Like so. I need exactly 13, because that's how old he is. Let's see if we've got enough. Let's hope so, eh? Yeah. So this is 12. And I'm going to bake one separately. Look at that. I think that's bang on. Okay, so I've got a bit left to just spread them between the other cupcakes. Not one. Oh, there we go. So that makes 13 beautiful sponges. Now I'm going to stick that in the oven for roughly 14 to 18 minutes, depending. Like I haven't cooked these before, so I'm just going to see how they turn out. Right, so 14 minutes exactly they were in for, and they have risen beautifully. I'm very happy with that. They've come out really nice. So what we're going to do is, obviously I'm just going to get them out, place them on the wire rack. So this is one I obviously didn't have in there, so it's spread out a little bit, but still good, still good. The rest, I mean, they look beautiful. I did them in a muffin tray, just so it holds the shape, and I've got it getting a bit of height as well. But the smell is delicious. They're very light, so you know, even though I've gone under halfway filled, they filled up the muffin case, which is perfect. So now I'll let these cool down, and I shall look into the buttercream that's going to go on that. Okay, I'm just going to go through what you're going to need for the the butter icing, or the vegan butter icing. The product I'm going to use is this floor. I'm not one for advertising people's products, otherwise, you know, it's all free advertising. But I do find that this product is quite good, and the flavour is really good, and it's 100% plant-based. So I'm going to use, I think it's 500 grams of that. You've got 500 grams of icing sugar, and then what I've got here is this egg replacement. Now I'm using this simply because I want to stabilise my butter icing, and rather than putting in eggs, obviously, because otherwise it won't be vegan. And this contains xanthan gum, so that will help bind everything together. I'm only going to use 1 teaspoon of this, which is virtually like 1 egg basically, and a drop of water before I put it into my mix. But we'll do that together as we go along. I think this was from probably Morrison's or something like that. But my youngest, he uses it in pancakes, and it seems to work really well. But yeah, so I think what else it's got in it? It's got potato flour, tapioca, cream of tartar, xanthan gum, and methacellulose, which I'm not sure about, but I'll look that up. Yeah, but it's quite a good product. So yeah, we're going to use that. I've got 2 colours here that I'm going to use to just colour them. I cut it in half and then colour them, put 2 piping bags together and pipe, and hopefully they'll come out in 2 different ways. I've got a grape violet and I've got a sunset red. We shall see if that comes out pink, because I'm sure he doesn't want pink cake. But you know, it's quite good colour contrast. And then I've also got the orange extract, which I'm going to put into my batter once we start going. Right, so what I've done here, I've just loosened the butter slightly, just so it's not all clumping up. And then I'm going to add, for the start, just a spoon at a time, because otherwise you know what happens, don't you? It just goes poof everywhere, which we don't want. So for now, let's just incorporate the sugar. I'm not going to whip it just yet, because I want to make sure all the sugar is in, to help obviously stop splitting, and then so it's easier when I put my xanthan gum in there. Okay. And every addition of sugar that you do, obviously you're going to see that it does want to sort of give it volume. And hopefully this, so you've got basically got a kilo mix. It might not be enough, so I'm going to do it and see how much I can get out of it. And it is starting to fluff up already, which is nice, so I'm happy about that. But obviously I want it to be stable. You know, if you're going to sell them or whatever you want to do them, the more stable you can get your butter icing, the better. So that's, you know, the xanthan gum is going to help with that, and the other items in there. Yeah, that's going to be nice. More sugar. I'll be back to you once I've incorporated all the sugar. Okay, so I've managed to incorporate all the sugar, a little bit here and there. So what I am going to do, you can make sure you see first, I'm just going to move that back a little. And here obviously I've got my egg replacement and a bit of water. I'm just going to add a little bit of water to that. Give it a little stir, because obviously it's going to gum up as soon as you sort of add liquid to it. So I'm going to do that quickly. Looks like snot. It's snot though. Okay, just so that's liquidy, so I can get it in there without it sort of powdering up. Well, it's just exactly like snot, maybe sick, something like that. Okay, so I'm going to just make sure there's no dry lumps in there. It actually looks like wallpaper paste and spit, which is nice. Okay, yeah, so this will help obviously stabilise. You know, I've not tried it in cakes as such, but you know, it's something I'm gonna do once I've worked it out. I've worked with xanthan gum and other products, no problem. But this is a new product. Right, so I've made it into a paste. I'm going to put the whole lot in. And it goes. It's in. It's too late now. And now I'm just going to give it a bit of volume before I add my oil. Yeah, it's fluffing up really nice. Now I'm adding my oil. So that is probably about 5 grams, a teaspoon. Might not be enough, but I should taste. So what I'm going to do now, once it's all incorporated, I'm going to change over to my whisk to get as much air in there as possible, and then after that I'm going to refrigerate it before I use it, because again, you know, when you're beating margarine it does collapse. It's not as good as butter. It will tend to get warm very, very quickly, but obviously we want to work it as cold as possible. So I'm going to scoop that round. Okay, just going to give it a quick taste before I do anything else. Oh, fantabulous. Right, so now I'm just going to get my whisk wherever I put that. There it is, I have my whisks. I'm just going to do that. That's it. And then we'll whisk. Just create more volume and then refrigerate, so it'll be really easy to pipe. That one. Okay, so obviously you want it nice and cool, the bowl nice and cool, so we can get that volume in there. And it should make it super light and fluffy. Right, so before I introduce the colour, I'm going to add a little bit more of this as well. I just want to show you how light it is and fluffy. I mean, I find it fluffs up way better than your butter one, and it's stable, you know. So you have got a little bit of room to play with the heat and so forth. And it's just magical. It's really good. And that's what I love about it. So what I'm going to do before that, I'm just going to whip it very quickly, add a little bit more of the orange, and then we're going to separate it in half and colour both, which I'll go through that with you. Right, so what I've done here, I've separated them in half because I'm going to add my colours. I've not worked with these colours before, so I don't know how strong they are. They might be really weak, which you find with cheaper ones. But let's give it a go. I'm going to put that in first, maybe, how many drops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops. That's a nice pastel-y colour actually. Because this is water based, it's going in quite well. I'm going to put in another 5 drops. We shall see how it comes out. I'm going to leave it like that. So it's about 10 drops of colour. That's liquid food colour, by the way, obviously. And it seems to blend in quite well. So we'll stop there. And the other one I'll do by hand with a whisk, which is a different colour. We're going to go for this. I think this is Somerset Red, it says. What does that mean? Red sky at night. Is that what it means? So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to do the same with that. Let's get all this goodness off here. And I'm going to whip it by hand, because I can. There we go. So more like an orange, I say, or orangey pink. Oh, that's good, but look. Let me just put another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another 10. That's what I meant. Okay. Okay, that's nice. So those two colours together will pipe quite well, because we've got a load of decorations to put on as well, which I shall show you. But always check the ingredients of your decorations, because you can't, you know, it's dairy free, you can't have any dairy in your decorations. I'm not going to lick my fingers because I've got colouring all over it. So I'll be back in a second. I'm going to put these into a piping bag and then chill it, and then when I'm ready to use it, obviously, so I'll go through the process of doing the double bag, which is quite easy. Oh, I'll just put that in my mouth. Oh, I shall see you in a minute. Right, okay, I've separated them both. Well, I haven't separated, they're already separated. And I'll put them into piping bags. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a little whirl to get that down to the bottom. Same with this one. A little whirl. So that's all the way down. And what I'm going to do now is flatten them out like this. Both equal flatness, if you can, because it's going to help when you put it into your third bag. I think I put a little bit too much in this one, but it doesn't matter. Because I've got a backpack machine, I'm going to seal the ends, because it's going to help me later on. So yeah, just make sure that this bit, if you can, so your crease is folded round, so it's exactly flat, okay? That's going to help you in the long run. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off the end. And then I'm just going to seal the end with my vacuum pack machine. If you haven't got a vacuum pack machine, don't worry about it. You don't have to seal the end at all. But I'm going to. I'm just going to suck a little bit of the air out of it. Like that. And then seal. Seal. And then that will help. I will then be able to push it flat, exactly the same as this one, and they'll both be the same size. Like that. So that one's sealed. Okay, so you get a lovely little seal with that. And then what I do is I just push all the mixture so it's flat, because you want to get as flat as possible. Tiny little air bubble there, doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to do exactly the same with the other one. This I'm going to go and sit in the fridge and chill. I'm going to chill that for about 20 minutes because it's got to be super cold. Oh, super cold before we use it. So I'll just go through that again with you. So I find the crease like that. So just flat against the crease. Push it as far out as you can. And again, I'm just going to cut a little bit off the top. Again, what you do if you haven't got a backpack machine, just leave it as is. Try and light flat, get it chilled as soon as possible. And what you do then is just put it into your bag, which I'll show you in a minute, and then you can just tie it up at the end. So a little bit of that. Right, so here are my two piping bags full of buttercream, and I've got a piping bag here with a 12 pointed star nozzle. It's quite a large one because obviously if there are any sort of bits of the, you know, when I did the egg replacement, I don't want them to get trapped in there and cause streaks. So let's just hope that will work. So yeah, it's a 12 pointed one, and what I'm going to do now is going to place that like that. I'm going to cut the ends of my bag, not too big, because they've both got to fit into the end of there quite nicely. Maybe a little bit more of that. Tell you what, it tastes good. Okay, so cut the ends off. and now I'm going to feed them both into there. So what you're trying to do is get them both into the same point into your piping bag, which is not as easy as it looks. But once they're in, and I can see they're lined up. Try and make sure you just line them both up. I keep grabbing the wrong bag, but there you go. Right, so they're in. And I'm hoping that's it. Okay. And then when you're ready to use, I'm going to give it a little go on a plate just to make sure. So you can see if it works. If it doesn't work, oh dear, but never mind. But I'm sure it will. So we'll just start it off by squeezing. I want to squeeze it into the cup. Right, so I have got, there's one I can just see that's folded over. So let's just pull that other one back a bit and push that one forward. Yeah, it's just bent over, this one. Yeah, as you can see that. So let's push him and try again. That's it. So yeah, so always just do your testers. I'm thinking that's right. Yeah, that's it. So we've got our dual colour. I don't know if you can see that. But now we've got a dual colour. So now we're going to do our cakes. And I like, if I do one for yous here, make sure you can see that. Let's just, excuse my camera work. I don't want to keep stopping and starting for you. So we'll do that. Okay. So just round the outside. Okay, that's all I'm going to do because we've got a lot of decoration to do as well. And different nozzles obviously will give you different effects. Oh. But that's your sort of two-tone effect. I'm sure this little boy is going to love these little creations. In a minute, once they're piped though, we're going to stick them back in the fridge. To set a little bit more, and then we're going to fully decorate them up. So I'm just going to finally decorate them with some balls. These lovely, I mean, it's up to you how you decorate them, obviously. But I do like silver balls. These ones are particularly shiny. Quite nice. But I'm going to add some googly eyes, obviously, because they're for my son as well. He likes the quirky stuff. And I've obviously made 13 because I think there's 13 letters in happy birthday. And he is turning 13. Which is nice. Terrible teens, eh? Okay, I'll just decorate one more and then I'll just... I mean, cupcakes are cupcakes, aren't they? There's no fashioned way how you decorate things. It's up to you, totally up to you. Your artistic license. And I'll just put, oh, I don't know, you can put a bloody face on there, can't I? Got some little googly eyes here. You might find quite funny. Or weird. And maybe, what, got some eyebrows. A bit like my eyebrows, they are. Really big. Okay, you get the kind of idea. There's no set way, you know. We want to put some ears in there. To do it, I'm not going to tell you off. Going, oh, why is he doing that? Oh, why is he doing that? You know, totally up to you. Yeah, so, I mean, you get the idea. If I just go down there, you can just see what I've done. And obviously I've got happy birthday stick in everyone. So there you have it. They are all vegan, dairy free, goodness, and hopefully one little boy is going to love them. He will love them. Right, so that's it. That's the vegan vanilla. Do you know what I did forget? I forgot to inject them with chocolate sauce, and I will get home drawn report, I'm sure, for that at a later date. But yeah, no, they've come out really well. They rose very well, very light. But the proof is in the pudding when I go to eat them, so I will feed back to you on how they taste. Obviously can't eat them now because it's not his birthday just yet. But yeah, no, they come out now. So the buttercream is super light. Obviously it's not going to be like a normal because there's not so much fat holding that together. So that's why I put the stabiliser in, just to make sure we've got some stabilisation, so it should last for a few days and not break down. We pray. So thanks again for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to upload the recipes to my website, which is www.thepastrychefcornwall.co.uk. And again, you follow me on Instagram. I'll put as many links out as possible. So again, if you like it, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and I shall bang some more out for you.